You have to let go. We're gonna crash.
The air in our bedroom felt heavy that night, thick with her lavender scent and the metallic sting of something unsaid. I just stood there, staring at the crumpled note on the dresser, its edges softened from being opened and closed too many times. Intimacy only next year. Don't insist. Okay. Those words looked harmless on paper, but they burned through my chest. I could still hear my own voice from the night before, flat and defeated, agreeing to her strange demand. Okay. That word now felt like poison. When I walked out last night, the door clicked shut behind me like a judge's gavel. Today, silence filled the space she'd left, and it screamed louder than any argument ever could. Her perfume lingered like a ghost, but it wasn't the only thing she'd left behind. Her phone was there too, cracked screen, buzzing faintly with a new notification. Meet me tonight. Usual place. My throat went dry. I didn't want to touch it. My body resisted, but my hand moved anyway, trembling as if the air itself carried electricity. No passcode. That detail alone sent a shiver through me. She'd always guarded that phone like her soul was inside it. And yet, this time, it was unlocked, wide open, waiting to hurt me. The message came from a contact saved as just one letter, J. No last name, no photo. Just J. That letter hit like a dart to my spine. My pulse thudded in my ears, drowning out the low hum of Brooklyn traffic outside. I forced myself to scroll, reading through messages that sliced at my chest one by one. Asterisk, miss you already. Can't wait to see you. Last night was everything. Asterisk, every word was a knife twisting deeper, each one bleeding out another piece of trust one didn't know I'd still had left. Yesterday she'd sat across from me at the kitchen table, couldn't look me in the eyes, twisting the sleeve of her sweater. I just need space, Ethan, she'd said. No intimacy for a while. Not until next year. Please don't push me. Her voice was rehearsed, hollow. I'd nodded, pretending to understand. Told myself it was stress, her long hours at the gallery, the pressure of her first solo show. I thought I was being kind. Supportive. But standing there now, staring at her phone, I realized I hadn't been kind. I'd been blind. The walls seemed to press in on me. The floor creaked under my feet as I paced, the sound snapping in the silence. Her coffee still sat on the counter, cold and untouched. Her sketchbook lay open on the couch, frantic lines of graphite and paint that suddenly looked more like confession than art. I wanted to scream, but the sound caught in my throat. She wasn't home. She'd left hours ago, or at least, she'd said she was going to the gallery. The memory replayed in slow motion, her coat half on, eyes flicking to her phone, a distracted nod. Was she running to him even then? I sank onto the couch, phone in hand, heart hammering against my ribs like it was trying to escape. My body felt hijacked, adrenaline in my veins, cortisol burning behind my eyes, my breathing shallow and fast. Still, I scrolled. Asterisk, you make me feel alive. He doesn't suspect a thing. Asterisk, that last line tore something open inside me. I was he. The fool she pitied. The man who'd confused neglect with artistic focus. I'd told myself her distance was creative space. But this was betrayal dressed as absence. The clock ticked too loudly. Every second slammed into my skull. I thought about the night we met, her sketching strangers on napkins in that smoky bar, laughing when I teased her for drawing everyone but me. I remembered how her laughter had cracked open the gray inside me. That spark had once rewired my whole brain. dopamine, oxytocin, the chemicals of falling in love. Now, standing here, I could feel those same neural circuits shutting down, collapsing under grief. I put her phone down like it was a grenade and grabbed my coat. The October air outside bit into my skin, shocking my body into focus. My mind replayed everything on a loop, her hands fidgeting, her silences, her sudden withdrawal. Each memory linked to the next like electrical currents running through pain. By the time I reached the gallery, my fingers were trembling. Her name, Leah Monroe, unveiled, glowed across the glass entrance like a cruel joke. Inside, her paintings hung bright and exposed under soft lights, each brushstroke screaming truth she'd never told me. But she wasn't there. She left an hour ago, the receptionist said. Said she had a meeting. A meeting. The word twisted in my gut like a blade. I stumbled back into the city noise, horns, chatter, sirens. My phone buzzed. For one stupid second, I hoped it was her, that she'd call to say it wasn't what it looked like. But it was just my sister, you okay? You seemed off last night. I couldn't even answer. How do you explain to someone that your world's ending quietly while the city keeps moving? I wandered for hours, my thoughts circling like vultures. Every scene of our life replayed through a different lens, every laugh, every touch, now rewritten by lies. My body ached like I'd been running, though I hadn't moved much at all. My vagus nerve fired in waves, that deep chest heaviness that makes grief feel like suffocation. When I finally walked back into our apartment, night had fallen. The only light came from the street lamp outside. She was sitting on the couch, face pale, eyes swollen. Ethan, she whispered, voice trembling. We need to talk. I just stared. She looked like a stranger wearing her own guilt. Why, Leah? I asked, the words soft but raw. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said. It was a mistake. I was lost, and he was there. Her words broke me more than any confession could. She didn't have to say his name. The truth was carved into her shaking hands, her uneven breath. How long? I managed. My tone stayed steady, almost scientific, though my body was shaking. 3 months, she said, choking on it. I love you, Ethan. I still do. That was the cruelest part, she thought those words could patch what she'd shattered. But the lie wasn't just the affair. It was the months she'd looked me in the eyes and let me believe we were still us. That kind of deceit seeps deep, it rewires the brain itself, teaching it to distrust even calm. I turned toward the window. The city outside glittered, indifferent, its lights flickering like stars that refused to care. Behind me, she whispered, I'm sorry. But apologies can't undo emotional physics, the way betrayal changes chemical balance, the way love corrodes once truth breaks it. And in that moment, I realized the worst part. I had said okay to her distance, but I had never agreed to disappear. If you've ever loved someone so deeply that their silence hurt louder than their words, you'll understand this story. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.